Chapter 35. Day 4. The key in the lock clicked, indicating it was a fit. We all stood impatiently. I pulled out the metal box with careful hands, to ensure that whatever the contents were, they'd be safe. Alice and Dan surrounded me, as I placed the lockbox against the metal table, with the melted holes from the first encounter Dan and I had shared. "Are you guys ready for the second part?" I asked, hesitating, as the skin of my thumbs pressed against the silver top. Alice nodded, motioning me to lift the container. I swallowed dryly. To be honest, I'm not so afraid of working the clue on my short time, but what if it isn't the clue? What if this is nothing, and the cell phone killer is just tricking us? What if there's no way to win? This whole game could have no end. Just like a TV show, it never ends until the ratings drop. They just keep adding new characters. No. I'm not going to let that happen. As soon as we get out, as soon as we win this devil's deal, I'm going to tell everyone in the world exactly what's going on here. As soon as we win. What if I can't make it in time? What if I die here? I only have 3 days, if that. What if Alice and Dan don't win after I'm gone? What if... No, stop asking what if. The more you ask what if, the shorter the amount of time you'll have to ask. I'm not dying here. I'm not going to have to wonder what if, because I won't let that happen. I'll make my own fate. I will win. I clicked open the box, with the beat of my heart against the tip of my throat. Silence. I looked in the box, with devastation to what it held. Why this? No, this can't be right. What? Why her? The question rattled against my mind, as salt danced against my eyelids. "John," Dan whispered in a comforting manner. I fell to my knees, against the green mat that had once saved my life, wishing that it hadn't. I can't believe it. I choked as if my words didn't want to escape my curling lips. "He's sick," Alice spat with a dark growl. "What is it?" Dan asked, unaware of what we knew. "It's Eve's," I sighed, lifting my head up towards the two. I picked up the black ski hat that so many memories had held. I pulled the fabric close to me, remembering what she had told me. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate me too. "So what? What do we do from now?" Dan asked, without the same emotions Alice and I shared. "It means nothing. We're done. It's over," Alice spat. She sat against the ground, giving up. "You can't just give up," Dan demanded. "Oh yeah? Do you have any other ideas?" she questioned. "I thought that's why you had him," he motioned towards me in a rage. "I should have known better than to put all my faith in one idiot," Dan huffed. I grabbed Dan's hand in a quick motion, pulling him down to my level. I pushed my left shoulder to his chest, with a hard slam that surprised everyone. "Didn't I just say that the key was only part 1? I spoke calmly, with a dry tone, as if the events had unaffected me. I stood from the floor of the bank, with an all-new life. A crazy sociopath once told me that I wouldn't be on this team if he didn't think I would make it to the very end, and that same applies to you two. We're not done yet. I, for one, will keep searching until my time is over. And even if I run out of time, that doesn't mean everything I did was pointless. I am not just some idiot. I am the idiot not afraid to keep trying," I stated, much like a leader would, strong and sturdy with the truth. I took Eve's hat, placing it on my own head, pressing down the straw-like hair with coffee coloring. A crunching sound echoed in my ears. It was slight, just a little crack, but it was enough. I reached inside the hat, to feel a lump inside the fabric. I wiggled my fingers around the blackness until I found an opening. A note was folded, small and flatly against the fold. I pulled out the paper, marked with a number 2 in large red letters. I unfolded the paper, with all eyes pressed on my being. It was a map, no bigger than a piece of printer paper, with a black and white image of the United States of America. It seemed like something a child would use when learning all the states' names, since none of them were filled in. Dots in pink, yellow, green, and orange covered the page, connecting from several locations. 4 pink dots marked the page. One in Washington State, one in Nevada, another in Georgia, and the last in Ohio. A pink line attached the marks from left to right of the map, starting with Washington and ending in Ohio. A yellow mark in South Dakota traveled to another in Arizona, then one in Illinois, before another in Alabama, and then lastly marking one in New Jersey, made an almost W shape. Orange lines traveled from California to Colorado, and then to Florida, and finally up to New York. Kind of looked like a Z across the United States map, but sideways. The final set of colors were green. The first point began in Montana, traveling to Michigan, then down to Georgia, and finally reaching Texas. I stared at all the locations with confusion, before placing it on the table for others to see. "What is it?" Dan questioned. "I don't know, but that's where I'm from." I pointed to the pink dot on Washington State. "I was in Ohio," Alice confirmed, placing her hand on the pink dot. "I'm from Montana." Dan completed our roll call. "So, Team 1 is pink, and Team 3 is green," I concluded. "But I still don't understand the point of this, or exactly how it helps us." "Maybe it doesn't," Dan sighed. "No, the game always gives you what you need to survive. It's up to the player to figure out how to use it. But we made it out of the tutorial long ago, so I don't know how easy this will be," I admitted, losing the two in conversation. What?" Dan questioned. "It's how he thinks," Alice sighed with annoyance. "At least I think," I jested. "Honey, you can't afford to piss me off," she laughed sarcastically. "Honey, you can't afford to piss me off," I mimicked jokingly. "Not you two," she huffed. "What?" "I had a friend who would do that to me all the time, and, well, it didn't end well, okay?" Alice growled, threatening to make me stop. "Hey, do you guys have any paper?" Dan questioned, breaking our conversation. "Does it look like we do?" Alice sneered. "Well, Miss Sass, do you got a pen?" he asked. "Here," Alice said, pulling a pencil from her hair and throwing it to the boy. "If you connect the colors to the open end of the dots, the lines cross over," Dan stuttered as he drew, connecting the dots in calm strokes. The pencil lines had a long strip, with 3 intersecting it at different times. One line was closer to the right. It was short and simple, while the other 2 crossed each other in an X before creating an A shape when passing through the main line. A triangle was formed on Nebraska between 3 of the lines. "That looks like Maria's map," Alice pointed out. "Map of what?" I asked. "Map of the game itself," she finished. "Is this really just a map of the game? How does this help? What is the purpose? Is there none?" "No." He had to give us something that would lead us to the clue. "Hey, I've never been to any of these spots." Dan pointed 4 spots out across the paper. "Me neither," Alice stated. "If I remember her map, this triangle is the center of town." "So, this is the house?" I questioned, pointing to the dot in Montana. "This world isn't big enough to be the entire United States, so were we taken specifically? It wasn't an accident we were taken," I pieced together. It makes sense. How else is the game maker supposed to know our names and skill if he doesn't research who we are?" Alice added. "We're here by meeting some standard they created. We were chosen from some sick test," Dan gagged in disgust. "So that means we all have something that would make it possible to win, right? Otherwise, what would the point be?" I added. "If we look at all 4 of these locations that none of us know, maybe we can find the third part of this clue." I yawned with a tired squeal. We've been looking at this map for hours, and I honestly feel like I could keel over at any moment. I guess that might be the wrong choice of words in this situation. "So in the morning, Dan, you'll go to this location," Alice ordered, pointing to a mark between the main town and the mall. "I'll go to this one, closest to the house, and John, you can go to the one between the hospital and Territory 4. "You think it's a good idea to put him in our territory with Ian?" Dan questioned, detailing my own thoughts. "Last time, John won when they fought. It wasn't until he let Ian live that he was shot." "John, you're not going to do that again now, are you?" Alice snickered, as if it was something that we could truly joke about. "After we all search over the area, let's meet at this 4th point," she finished. "For now, let's just wait till midnight and get a good rest. I don't know about you guys, but I'm exhausted." I sighed with a groan. Honestly, the bank is probably the most non-dangerous place around here. Who's gonna think that's where we'd be living? I'm going out, but I'll be back after the rankings. Just need to make sure no one followed us. Call me paranoid, but I live with them, and I know it's not below them, Dan said, walking out of the bank with a dead appearance. The ring of our phones echoed off the shining walls, cueing us for the nightly rankings. The three of us walked out into the brisk night air, staring up at the screen that lit our world. But something was wrong. There were no rankings. The same message we had come to know did not appear. The screen was just white, with a bright light mimicking that of the moon. The blue letters began to move, to form new sentences and words that we were not accustomed to. Things are getting interesting, aren't they? The list cleared for the next line. I wish to offer a challenge to all of my players. The rules are simple. Kill. I froze. Kill? What does he mean, kill? The first person to kill another, starting now, shall be taken out of the game and returned to the real world. He can't be serious, Dan spat, with confusion evident in his tone. It has to be a trick, I concluded. No one's gonna fall for that. They'll all just think it's John. No offense, trying to kill us all, Dan confirmed. Thanks, I growled sarcastically. And I can't make messages on the main screen, only by sending texts. I'm just pointing out what we're all thinking, Dan shrugged, walking off into the night as the white screen disappeared. I really didn't think of them trying to blame me for all this. I know a few, most people here think I am the game maker, or at least I'm working with him, but they can't honestly think that I'm here to kill them all. I'd better be careful anyway. I mean, if you had to kill anyone, I'd go after the guy trying to kill us too. Well, we'll have to be careful tomorrow, won't we? I'm gonna sleep in the vault. I'll wake you up in the morning, I smiled, stepping into the bank with Alice behind me. Night, she called, as I lay my head against the rubber mat that decorated the still room. I closed my eyes, falling into a light sleep. It was dark. My position from laying on my side changed, limply, to one on my back from a gentle tug. I didn't open my eyes, but my mind awoke fully. I took in my surroundings with only partial senses. The warm breath of a single person hit the left side of my face with a practiced silence. A faint smell of erasers and mud filled my nostrils, as only the sound of my breath echoed. Soft fingertips guided my falsely limp neck from its right position to one that faced directly forward. I did not move. I did not stir, because I knew what would happen if I woke up. The question is, what'll happen if I don't? The breath of my attacker, built until it was no longer silent. It was nervous sounding, as if it was unsure of what it was doing there, what she was doing to me. I broke my own silence with a murmured word, to prove that I was actually sleeping. Alice. A quick gasp took her breath away, along with her hand letting my head fall to the right. A cell phone rang woke me from my fake sleep. I woke lazily with a tired expression, to see a look of total fear against Alice's face in the dark room. What are you doing here? I questioned, knowing the truth. What? I couldn't sleep too, she joked nervously. I brushed it off, because she had done exactly what I expected. Alice didn't kill me when she had the chance. She didn't end my short life. I guess she really does care for me. I lifted my phone from my pocket, looking at the message. Player rankings, I read, standing from the metal ground, walking outside. The sky was still dark, but the sun could be seen fighting to overcome the horizon. White formed across the sky, with a video clip, much like the time I had pissed off the game maker. A mouse scrolled over, to press play on the screen. The image was fuzzy at first, but it slowly cleared to an image of the hospital room, which found me in it so many times. Blood splattered the walls as a body lay across the ever-growing stain of red. A girl of small stature stood with a back pressed against the wall, shaking like a cat caught in the rain. Congratulations, medic. Now here's my side of the deal. Olive screamed, looking down upon Alex, who lay cold. Olive began to shake even harder, as her wails became demonic, with a terror of hell itself in her voice. The girl grabbed her chest, dropping the surgical weapon. She began to pant, creating a horrific scene that would make anyone cringe. Olive fell face down against the pool of crimson, unmoving. We waited several minutes before the video cut out. I feel like I'm gonna hurl. No, I didn't feel like I was going to. I did. The scene itself was horrid. Added that it was Alex and Olive made it worse. This game is turning us into murderers. My phone rang with a new message that would surely only add to my sickness. 74 hours left. I hope you enjoyed my little present. I never said how you got out of the game, now did I?